very lofty promises, including that we are moving to first world status. We are moving towards Singapore, or where Singapore is. And the reality is that for State of the Nation address is probably more or less a reality check and not an imagination of where we should be. It should be that the president comes and tells us, however painful it is, that this is where we are, despite our ambitions and aspirations. This is where we are. But many Kenyans, and if you look at the dailies, they seem to doubt that, and even Professor Fred Ogola seems to doubt that the president will not focus on the reality currently. He'll just tell us more promises about the future.
Yeah, thank you. I think the State of the Nation is a moment of accountability for the head of state. And that is in the Constitution. It is not a window dressing nor a public relations moment. It is not. It is a serious provision in the Constitution. And you all know the president is extremely serious about this particular forum. It's not a forum for him to come to lament. It's not coming to lament, and is going to account, as per the Constitution, matters of the status of the implement national values and principles, the international obligations. It's very clear, and the national state of the national security, performance of the various sectors, and what needs to be done. A leader must provide solution. A leader must develop a vision for the country. The president has a vision and is going to account the journey that has been covered towards getting into that vision and what needs to be done so that we get into that, we get to that vision early on time. Let me look at it, for example. When the president says, we must get Kenya to the first world by 2055. All the work that will be done between now and 2055 should be able to lift the country to the first world by that time. That's a vision. It's just like Vision 2030, which Kibaki coined, and which every leader is still working on, and which the president is also working on. You look at the flagships, I don't think I need to discuss much about the flagships. We've seen when it took over, the country was at risk in terms of food security. But the intervention measures in agriculture as per the pillar has food secured the country. The UHC, which everybody feared, though with challenges, Kenyans are now being treated without paying. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. When you talk of housing infrastructure...
Before I lose this train of thought, you mentioned something. You mentioned something about where, with that analogy of heading towards Singapore, that what should be done between now and then, that's the vision. Should that be what the president comes to share today, the vision and what will happen going forward? Should it be that, yes, we may want to go there, but this is...
Let me tell you, the president is not going to seek for permission to do that. It's already being done. And... It's a matter of getting the legislators to understand exactly what is being done, how that is being done, and what is the obligation of the legislators. For example, we've talked about the National Infrastructure Fund, for example, if I may talk about that from my little knowledge of what is happening. If we are to invest in infrastructure within a short time so that it can enable the economy to grow. Without infrastructure, don't talk about the economy. It will never. And therefore, Fred, if we don't have such a fund that can enable the country, that can enable the country to implement infrastructure programs within a short time, it may take another 70 years to do it. Who is going to wait for 70 years? Is it our children, our children's children? It has to be done in our lifetime.
But is that the state of the nation currently that you are hoping for?
Look at it, for example.
Because allow me, because I need you to clarify this. As a former member of Parliament.
You want the president to state what has been done.
Yes.
That is your understanding.
But he has already indicated that he'll be coming to suggest a piece of legislation. Should this be the opportune time for him to give his legislative agenda to Parliament? Because right now he's addressing the nation, not just Parliament.
And why the legislative agenda that he will outline to Parliament? Because he must explain to parliamentarians the legislative requirements. He has
opportunities to do that.
No. He must explain. It's an opportunity if he so chooses to. The type of legislative requirements that he required to be able to implement certain intervention programs, like, for example, infrastructure. This country will require strong road network infrastructure. This country will require strong power infrastructure. In fact, the country requires lots of megawatts of electricity, for example. This country will require housing infrastructure. It will require many things, and it is work in progress. And if indeed there are legislative requirements that are required to strengthen the delivery of the same, it is what the president will place it before Parliament.
Shouldn't the president therefore state that, yes, this is where we are, but due to lack of legislation, we are not able to do this and this and this, instead of suggesting that this is what I want Parliament to do going forward?